What's going on? It's Astronaut H, and this is the What More Do You Want Network. Now, in this video, I will be discussing today's game between the Chicago Bulls and Los Angeles Lakers. And of course, this is my Bulls report. Now, the Chicago Bulls on this current road trip have basically been looking for a way to put wins together and better their chances of, not only the play-in standings, but, moving up and building momentum going into the latter stages of the season. Now, of course, we missed DeMar DeRozan in the last outing against Portland, which the Chicago Bulls did ultimately end up winning, by a great outing by not only Nikola Vucevic, but also Zach LaVine and the cast of others that played in that game. Now, for the Los Angeles Lakers, they're on the same spectrum as the Bulls, a team that's vying for position in that 11, 10, 9, 8 spot. And they've been playing pretty well. Of course, Austin Reeves, Anthony Davis, and surprisingly, LeBron James was back in this basketball game, and I'll get into that a little bit later. Now, the Chicago Bulls did go with a lineup that consisted of Patrick Beverley, Alex Caruso, Nikola Vucevic, Zach LaVine, and DeMar DeRozan to start. DeRozan back from the quad strain. The Bulls definitely needed all hands on deck in this basketball game. And you saw that, honestly. When I looked at the game on paper, I said the Bulls can match up with the Lakers. It's going to definitely take a lot of grit, and we have Patrick Beverley to thank for that. But when it comes to just the overall 48 minutes of basketball, the Chicago Bulls definitely had to come out and play. And you seen Troy Brown Jr. get the game started with the first points of the game with a three. And then Vucevic, was getting in the paint early. DeMar DeRozan, you seen him out in transition. A three from Alex Caruso. Alex Caruso was playing really good in this game, and I think he had a point to prove, honestly. He was getting to the paint. You seen the Bulls definitely was... Perimeter defense has always been a problem all season, so today was no different. You seen Troy Brown Jr. getting threes early, and the Bulls just had to find a way to start to control AD. You seen him start to get in the rhythm early, whether it was him going against Vucevic in the post or him coming down the lane in open spots. But Vucevic did fade out to the mid-range, got a few buckets. You seen Patrick Beverley getting to the rim, and the Bulls' help side defense just wasn't present in the early parts of this game. It would have been worse if Drummond didn't come in and kind of subside that. But at the early parts of this game, you've seen that. But the Bulls, you started to get Zach LaVine involved through the mid-range. Zach started to heat up a little. He started being aggressive. He was probably the most aggressive player to start the basketball game outside of Troy Brown Jr., honestly. You seen Kobe White come off the bench and get a couple threes. And after the first quarter, the Bulls were up 29-26. So, 3-point lead after the first quarter. I said to myself, okay, this can be good. This can be a good start. LeBron did show face in the first quarter. I believe you did see a LeBron sighting in the first quarter, but to no avail. Let's get into the second. Now the Bulls do go up 8 early in the second. You seen Patrick Williams put the Bulls up 10. Andre Drummond go low post. Kobe White in the paint. Drummond on the rebounds, and Andre Drummond was pretty much having his way in the early sets of the second quarter. Now, the Bulls started to get laxed again, and Austin Reeves started to, get into the flow of the game. But Ayo Dosunmu with a three. And the Bulls was just on fire in the second quarter, honestly. They go on a 25-11 run, and the Bulls were getting easy shots, whether it was layups, whether it was runouts, whether it was just an overall better play from them in the second quarter opposed to the Lakers. Now, you did see Zach LaVine again in transition. Zach, I believe he did have a dunk at one point in the second quarter. And on the defensive end after that, you seen LeBron go to the rim. We've seen it maybe 1,000 times if you've been watching basketball long enough. And Vucevic hit him and fouled him. He was fouled. Vucevic elected to argue with the referee about the call. Okay, cool. He gave him a technical foul. Vucevic kept going and ultimately got through out the game. So there was no Vucevic from the second going on to the rest of the game. And I said to myself, that was big because Vucevic was definitely giving Anthony Davis a hard way to go, at least on the defensive end. And he's a big body, and that's something that the Bulls need when you go up against a team like the Lakers who have, Anthony Davis. Drummond can't do but so much against him. He's more athletic. So now that dwindles your roster spots down. And now that gives guys like Derrick Jones Jr. an opportunity to come in and make an impact, which he did, honestly. You've seen the Lakers go on a 12-4 run to close the quarter, and the Bulls were up 63-55 at half. And at the half, I'm like, okay, so the Bulls are playing good, but we've seen this movie before. We've seen what happens when the Bulls get leads at half, and they pretty much dwindle away as the basketball game continues. But let's talk about the Patrick Beverley effect. In the third quarter, he comes out, he hits a three, and then he gets out in transition, and the Bulls lead go up to as much as 17 at one point in the third quarter. You've seen Zach continue to have his way. DeMar DeRozan from the mid-range. The Bulls go up as much as 21 in the third, but they were struggling to close quarters. They were allowing the Lakers to force and get momentum to close the third. And I'm saying, okay, the Lakers have LeBron, they have AD, they have players that know how to win games and get it done. We have to figure out a way. The Bulls have to figure out a way to put this team away. Now in the fourth quarter, DeMar DeRozan starts. The Bulls were up 91-78 at the end of the third. Now going into the fourth, DeMar DeRozan started to get his scoring going, and the Bulls were up 21 with under 7 minutes to go. And when I looked at the time and I looked at, what the Bulls were trying to accomplish team-wise, I said to myself, okay, this is where they have to put the Lakers away. They cannot allow the Lakers to make another run in this basketball game. They cannot allow the Lakers to feel like momentum is shifting, changing, and things like that. And ultimately, what you got in the end of today's basketball game was a Chicago Bulls win versus the Los Angeles Lakers by a final score of 118-108. The three-point shooting by the Chicago Bulls was immaculate. I'll get into that. The Bulls are now 36-38 on the season. Let's talk about as far as scoring goes. The Bulls had one 30-point quarter, and that was the second. But other than that, they only lost one quarter to the Los Angeles Lakers, and that was the fourth quarter when the Lakers scored 30 to the Bulls 27. Now, as far as high man goes for the Los Angeles Lakers, it was LeBron James off the bench with 19, 8, and 3. For the Chicago Bulls, DeMar DeRozan had 17 and 10 assists, double-double. Patrick Beverley had 10, 4, and 5. You had Ayo Dosunmu off the bench with 8. Andre Drummond with 12 and 8 off the bench. High man for Chicago, of course, was Zach LaVine with 32, 2 rebounds, and 4 assists. You've seen 13 points off the bench by Kobe White, 8 by Derrick Jones Jr., and 7 by Patrick Williams. And let's talk about Alex Caruso, 7 points, 5 rebounds, and 1 assist, 1 steal, and I believe he caused, if I'm not mistaken, 2 or 3 charges, a couple mainly on LeBron James. So at the end of the day, the Chicago Bulls turn around, get a W versus the Los Angeles Lakers in a game where I feel like every game down the stretch from here on out is definitely one that they need to win without question. Every game, now that you're on the road and you face off against the Clippers tomorrow, and then you have the Lakers today, then you go at Clippers, then you go back home, face off against the Lakers again before you get a day off, and then you face off against the Charlotte Hornets. Now, again, like I said, the Chicago Bulls at this stage vying and scratching and clawing for that 10-9-8 spot. This is very important to get wins and to get a win versus the Lakers, a team that's basically in the same position where games count the same way at this later stage of the season. It's great to see. It was definitely a team effort, especially after Nikola Vucevic was ejected. I don't see this becoming a continuing issue. It wasn't pretty much that Vucevic was having a bad game. It was just the call didn't go the way he seemed fit, and he elected to argue, and a referee threw him out the game. Now, again, like I said, man, I hope this is a continuum of how they want to play going forward to close out the regular season and hopefully make a push going towards the playoffs late April. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, Chicago Bulls fans, Los Angeles Lakers fans, or if this is just your first time tuning into this channel, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can know anytime a video is being uploaded to the channel. It's Astronaut H. This is the What More Do You Want Network, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.